Is Francis Ngannou really that good?
Nobody's safe.
Or was Tyson Fury exposed as an overhyped champion who takes advantage of his sheer size and reach to win fights?
Nobody's safe. As soon as we step out the cage, we raising all of the stakes. Make no mistake, either you stay in your place or we putting you on a plate. Look at our face, we put the fear in the dirt. We had to struggle for change, pick up the pace. We put in infinite work, that's why we stay getting paid. Y'all running late.
And while there's a valid argument to be made for both scenarios, we can be certain that the odds have never been so well stacked in the favor of Oleksandr Usyk. Critics would often downplay the Ukrainian's opposition at heavyweight. However, Ngannou's match with Fury shined a light on the Gypsy King's own record and rise to stardom. Maybe defeating an old Vladimir Klitschko and overwhelming a much lighter Deontay Wilder through bulk and weight is not that much of a feat compared to Usyk's masterclass against AJ. Of course, those arguments are at opposite ends of a spectrum, and the truth is often in the middle. Today, we dive in and discuss the monumental title unification bout for the sport's biggest and baddest. There can be only one, and there hasn't been for a very long time.
And the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, Lennox Lewis.
A fight that was long due to happen, negotiations failed initially, even after Usyk agreed to meet Fury's terms. This in turn set up the origin of two of the most controversial fights of 2023, with Usyk defending his title against Daniel Dubois, and Fury fighting an exhibition match against the MMA star Francis Ngannou. And here's the disclaimer: both of these fights did not go as planned. The outcry of fans and media might have been the reason, however, why stars aligned and eventually the contract was signed. This, after all, is perhaps the most important fight in boxing today. There hasn't been a unified heavyweight champion ever since Lennox Lewis stepped down as a professional in 2003. At the time in which Fury was breaking through the top heavyweight ranks, Usyk had just begun his professional career as a cruiserweight, after achieving everything that could be achieved as an amateur and winning the Olympic gold in 2012. Coming from the same boxing school and trainers that formed perhaps the most technical boxer of all time, Vasily Lomachenko, Usyk quickly rose through the ranks and displayed a wide array of abilities, such as speed, technique, timing, finesse, and more. Many would say that he, however, does not possess the power needed to compete with Fury.
I don't personally believe that Usyk has the power to hurt Tyson Fury.
I'm going towards Tyson Fury because I think he's just going to overpower him.
I don't think Usyk will be able to compete with the size of the hanging and stuff.
With that, we must wholeheartedly disagree. A quick glance at his record will show you that he finished every one of his opponents up to his title fight with Lovatsky, which was a very one-sided affair and a very clear victory for the Ukrainian, with him winning pretty much every single round. But that was against cruiserweights, you might say. His supreme reign at the lower weight class could leave fans with the impression that the cat struggled initially with the bigger prey at heavyweight, as his first two fights there were not as dominant as his boxing endeavors before. That being said, he made Chaz Witherspoon quit and outboxed Derek Chisora. Usyk himself would later confirm that his so-called lackluster performances were a bait for AJ and his management, one which worked and awarded him the title fight.
Well, this was something interesting actually, because there was another thought that perhaps you fought within yourself against Chisora, played possum, so to lure Anthony Joshua. Is there any truth in that?
Так, це правда.
The first fight with Joshua is another argument that Usyk can punch hard, and he did just that as he managed to stagger him on multiple occasions and almost finish him in the 12th. The Brit's size and strength were indeed an obstacle every now and then, but Oleksandr managed to battle through the tough moments and keep his composure. The second fight proved that this was no fluke, and he is here to stay, defeating AJ again in another 12-round war, displaying every quality a champion should possess, most importantly, the heart of a warrior. His latest fight against Dubois had fans split and was the subject of one of the biggest boxing controversies of 2023. While Usyk was indeed dominating in the squared circle, an alleged low blow took him down in the 5th. The referee gave the Ukrainian the full 5 minutes to recover, but some fans pointed out that Oleksandr might have faked the foul and was actually hurt to the body. Whether that is true or not, we can't be sure, but we know that Usyk continued to outpoint Daniel and eventually finished him with a jab. This also splits us into establishing an argument whether that performance shows promise or lack thereof for his chances against Tyson. Tyson Fury is not just big, he is the biggest elite boxer living today, standing in 6 feet 9 and weighing in at around 270 pounds for most of his fights, outweighing Usyk by 50 and standing 6 inches above him. He will also enjoy a 7-inch reach advantage. Beside that, contrary to popular belief, charisma and handsomeness will be on the side of the giant as well, as he is considered to be the sexiest man alive in 2023.
Who has also, by the way, been voted today the world's sexiest man. He beat Ronaldo. Ronaldo was second and Tommy was 13th, so now you know.
Tommy, you ugly bastard, if you're watching, number 13. Never say never, people. If you're fat and you're bald, you're probably gonna get laid. Get up!
Not only does he possess these physical advantages, he is often praised for his chin and durability. But let us take a more skeptical role and mention that Deontay Wilder wasn't the first man to knock him down. This honor belongs to Neven Bashkic, a boxer with the same stature as Usyk, who knocked him down in their bout in 2011.
Fury is down! Fury is down for the first time in his career!
Before being knocked out himself in the 3rd.
On the back foot now!
He's going to have to be careful here with his
Right uppercut! He stopped it!
Then there was Steve Cunningham, another cruiserweight turned heavyweight, not known for his power, who also managed to floor Fury and create serious problems for him before being taken out and overwhelmed by the Gypsy King's stature. Yes, Fury is durable, he's a very large man after all, but he is not George Foreman. He has been knocked to the canvas on several occasions from smaller men. Underestimating Oleksandr's power would prove fatal for his reign as king of the heavyweights. But which Fury shows up? Will we see the slick and jerky Tyson that is hard to hit, the same man that defeated Vladimir Klitschko in 2015, utilizing his reach, feints and movement as he did back then? Or could we see the new Fury, a Goliath that imposes his will and weighs down on his smaller opponents, exhausting them and knocking them out, like he did against Deontay Wilder? After his last fight, some people might want to see the old version of him. Against Ngannou, he looked slow and afraid to engage. The thing is, styles make fights, and while Ngannou was just as big and even stronger than Fury, pretty much neglecting his style, this new version of him might prove to be the cat's kryptonite. A bait or not we cannot say, but Derek Chisora gave the Ukrainian quite a test by pushing him around and cornering him, using his size to his advantage. A herky-jerky Fury has worked every time, but not against this caliber of boxer. If Tyson tries to outpoint and box Usyk, he will lose a decision. The Gypsy King's best bet would be to overwhelm and push the lighter man on the ropes, look for clinches whenever Oleksandr gets going, and aim to land his power shots. The uppercut could be a turning point, as it might be the linear champion's deadliest weapon, especially against an opponent who likes to keep his head off the center line by slipping left and right. The match against White showed that one of these could send anybody to the shadow realm, especially when landed flush. Working on the body will be to his advantage, as we've seen on several occasions that this is the cat's weak spot. Fighting on the edge of the rules could also be in favor of Fury, extending his long arms, manipulating the guard, and controlling Usyk's frame to set him up for the power shot, much like he did against Deontay in their third fight. The former cruiserweight has to stay on his toes at all times and be quick and explosive should the bigger man try to smother him. A strong counter backhand could restrain his opponent from engaging relentlessly and laying on top of him. The long reach of the Irish-blooded Brit could be an obstacle for Usyk's signature lead hooks. Instead, straight shots from the distance with in-and-out movement to avoid the clinch is his best bet. In the world of heavyweight boxing, anything could happen. A hard-fought decision or a surprise knockout, nothing is out of the books. But will Usyk shy away from the fight and run around like a rabbit? Or will he pick his shots and claw his way to victory like a deadly feline? Let us know your thoughts. If you enjoy this content, make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel. We intend to do more of it, so stay tuned and thank you for watching.